Have you ever wondered why a single soul can walk into your life and shift your entire world, as if the universe itself placed her on your path with a secret purpose that you have not yet fully understood? What if I told you that there is a kind of woman whose energy is so unforgettable, so fiercely luminous, that even long after she leaves the room, you still feel her presence like a quiet flame burning inside your chest? In the next moments, you will step into a powerful truth that many have sensed but very few have ever spoken out loud. You will discover why the Sagittarius woman, guided by Jupiter's vast and ancient light, carries a spiritual frequency that marks destinies, awakens forgotten dreams, and touches the human heart in a way that almost feels divine. Stay with me until the end, because once you hear this truth, you will never look at her in the same way again. She is unforgettable, not because she tries to be, but because her very existence feels like the universe whispering, "Pay attention." There are moments in life when a person appears and feels less like a coincidence and more like a message. The Sagittarius woman is one of those rare souls. She arrives, not quietly and not loudly, but with a presence that feels like destiny, rearranging the air around you. Her energy carries the brightness of a traveler walking between worlds and the sincerity of someone who has tasted both joy and heartbreak and still chooses faith over fear. She is the embodiment of expansion. Guided by the planet Jupiter, she walks with the spirit of a seeker, a visionary, a pilgrim of truth who refuses to let the world remain small. In modern Western astrology, she is the fire of discovery. In psychological and evolutionary astrology, she is the awakened teacher. In Vedic symbolism, she becomes the protector of Dharma, the keeper of wisdom, the eternal student of light. Her power is not accidental. It is ancient. It is woven into her story long before she was born. When you encounter her, something inside you shifts, even if you do not understand why. She challenges you without trying. She inspires you without planning. She awakens you without intention. Her presence is a spiritual invitation disguised as a human being. She is here to shake the dust off your spirit, to remind you of the truths you buried, to bring you back into alignment with the person you were always meant to become. She laughs with the purity of someone who knows that life is too sacred to be lived halfway. She speaks with a clarity that cuts through illusion like a beam of sun piercing a forest at dawn. She dreams in the language of freedom and possibility, and she moves through the world with the courage of someone guided by a deeper compass, a compass that points not to places on a map, but to the frontiers of the soul. And so, as we begin this journey into the heart of who she truly is, lean in closely, let your mind open. Let your intuition rise. Because to understand a Sagittarius woman is to understand the wildfire of transformation itself, the kind of fire that does not destroy but reveals, purifies, and awakens. In a moment, we will step deeper into the first revelation about her soul, the truth that explains why no one ever forgets her. But before we continue, write in the comments a simple affirmation that anchors your energy in this moment. Write the words, "I am open to the truth." There is something almost supernatural about the first moment you truly notice a Sagittarius woman. It does not happen with fanfare. It does not happen with noise. It happens with a quiet spark, a shift in the atmosphere, a feeling that someone has entered your life carrying a lantern filled with ancient truth. When she walks into your space, it is as if the universe gently nudges your shoulder and whispers, "Pay attention, something important is unfolding." She is a fire that does not scorch the skin but warms the spirit. Her presence awakens the parts of you that you forgot you had, the parts waiting for courage, expansion, and possibility. She is the flame you lean into, not the flame you run from. The instant your energy meets hers, something inside you stirs. It feels like recognition, like remembering a voice you once knew in another lifetime. She carries the essence of a traveler who has walked many roads, both visible and invisible, and she does not hide the fire in her soul. It radiates through her gestures, her laughter, her honesty, and her extraordinary ability to see the truth in others long before they see it in themselves. This is why her fire does not destroy. It reveals. At the core of her spirit is a sacred intention to expand everything she touches. She may not articulate it, she may not even fully understand it, but her energy carries the blessing of Jupiter, the planet of faith, of wisdom, of higher perspective. When she appears, she brings lessons with her, lessons wrapped in warmth and wild curiosity, lessons that lead people back to their own authenticity. That is why her fire is unforgettable. It does not demand anything from you, but it changes you all the same. The truth is that you feel a Sagittarius woman before you intellectually understand her. She emits a frequency that is rare in this world, a frequency that blends strength with innocence, determination with joy, and spiritual curiosity with grounded intention. She does not try to be impressive. She simply lives with a sense of meaning that others can sense instantly. When she enters a room, she carries the air of someone who knows who she is and who refuses to shrink for anyone. It is not arrogance. It is spiritual certainty. What sets her apart is a kind of clarity that most people spend their whole lives chasing. She sees through superficiality and empty performance as if her intuition has a built-in compass for truth. She listens differently. She speaks differently. She connects differently. She notices the emotional patterns that others overlook. She understands motivations with unusual speed. It is almost as if she reads the energy of a situation before she even hears the words being said. And this unique way of perceiving the world is one of the many reasons you never forget her. She also carries a joy that feels like sunlight breaking through clouds after a long winter. People remember the way she makes them feel. Light, awake, alive. She carries a mixture of sincerity and independence that feels refreshing in a world full of heavy masks. Her humor is quick, but never cruel. Her spontaneity brings out the adventurous parts of others. Her honesty is raw but healing. She is a reminder that life is not supposed to be endured, it is supposed to be explored. A Sagittarius woman is a paradox written in human form, and this paradox is exactly what imprints her presence into the memory of everyone she meets. She is wild, yet wise. She is independent, yet deeply loyal to the people who earn her trust. She lives in freedom, yet her heart knows devotion with astonishing depth. She is playful, yet she carries the kind of inner strength that has been forged through personal battles no one else has seen. In her you find the softness of a dreamer and the fearlessness of a warrior. She does not live in emotional extremes, she lives in emotional truth. She can laugh with childlike joy in one moment and speak with the gravity of a philosopher in the next. She will challenge your thinking without being confrontational. She will show you new perspectives without forcing you to change. She will inspire you without even trying. Her mystery lies in the fact that she is both deeply grounded and wildly free, both intuitive and logical, both open-hearted and discerning. That balance is rare. That balance is unforgettable. Her paradox creates an energy that lingers. She leaves people wondering how someone can be so gentle and so powerful at the same time. From the outside, it looks effortless, but it comes from a long journey of choosing faith over fear, growth over stagnation, truth over comfort. She carries the lessons of her past without letting them close her heart. She walks with resilience but not bitterness. She moves with presence but not heaviness. She is a living example of what it means to grow through life rather than merely move through it. When you truly begin to understand a Sagittarius woman, something becomes clear in a way that feels almost spiritual. She does not enter anyone's life without purpose. Even when the connection feels accidental, it never is. Her very presence acts like a key that unlocks the part of your spirit that has been longing to wake up. She carries a deep inner fire that refuses to let people remain small, even when they have forgotten the size of their own potential. It is not that she tries to change others. It is simply that her energy reminds you of your forgotten dreams and your neglected courage. In modern Western astrology, Sagittarius is seen as the seeker of meaning, the one who looks beyond the surface to understand the bigger picture. In psychological and evolutionary astrology, she becomes the archetype of expansion and soul growth, guiding others toward a more authentic path. Even in Vedic traditions, the influence of Jupiter gives her the role of a teacher, a protector of higher wisdom. She does not need to preach or instruct because her life itself is a lesson. Her laughter teaches joy, her honesty teaches clarity, her curiosity teaches freedom, her resilience teaches faith. The most fascinating thing is that she often does not realize the depth of the impact she has on others. She believes she is simply living her truth, following her instincts and honoring her spirit. Yet the people around her begin to change. They confront old fears, they take new risks, they speak truths they used to swallow, they see possibilities that once felt too distant. She awakens the sleeping parts of the soul not through force, but through authenticity. She shows others what life feels like when you stop apologizing for your own light. When you look closely at the essence of a Sagittarius woman, you begin to see that she is not defined by one single identity. She moves through life embodying several archetypes at once, each one carrying a unique spiritual signature. These archetypes weave together to create a presence that lingers in the memory long after she has walked away. They form the mosaic of her soul, the combination that makes her unforgettable. The first archetype is the wanderer, the one who seeks new horizons both inside herself and in the world. She is never stagnant. Her spirit thrives in discovery, whether that discovery is a new idea, a new place, or a new version of herself. The second is the oracle, the part of her that reads energy and intention with uncanny accuracy. She can sense truth before it is spoken, and she trusts her intuition with a kind of ancient certainty. The third is the wildfire, the force within her that inspires transformation in everyone she encounters. Her presence encourages change, and she brings movement to any stagnant space. The fourth archetype is the sacred rebel, the part of her that refuses to follow rules that do not align with her spirit. She honors her inner truth even when others do not understand it. The fifth is the philosopher, the one who contemplates life with depth and clarity, always searching for meaning and wisdom. The sixth is the liberator, the presence within her that frees the people she loves. She encourages independence, self-expression, and personal truth. And the seventh archetype is the light-bringer, the essence that brings warmth, optimism, and hope into every room she enters. These 7 archetypes exist simultaneously within her, shaping her identity in ways that cannot be contained or imitated. What makes these archetypes so powerful is not simply that she embodies them, but that she transitions between them with grace. She can be playful and profound in the same conversation. She can be rebellious and nurturing in the same moment. She can be both a beginner and a teacher, both a seeker and a guide. This fluidity is part of her magic. It is the reason she stays etched in the heart long after she has moved on. She is not one thing, she is many, and every one of those essences leaves a mark. To speak of a Sagittarius woman's love is to speak of a force that feels both ancient and brand new. She does not love in a way that is cautious or calculated. She loves with a spirit that believes in connection, in destiny, and in the possibility that 2 souls can lift each other higher. Her love is filled with joy, adventure, honesty, and spiritual fire. It is the kind of love that encourages growth rather than possession, expansion rather than fear. She does not want a partner who confines her. She wants one who stands beside her while both souls rise. Her love feels like an open sky. It is spacious, liberating, and unpredictable in the most beautiful way. She does not cling or demand. She gives freely, trusting that what is meant to stay will stay. Her affection is sincere and warm, but it is never heavy. She loves with movement, not stagnation. She brings laughter into the hardest days and truth into the moments where honesty is needed most. She is not interested in superficial romance. She seeks a genuine bond built on trust, emotional transparency, and spiritual compatibility. There is a reason her love transforms people. It challenges them to meet her in authenticity. When she loves you, she sees your potential and refuses to let you forget it. She supports your dreams, pushes you to grow, and believes in you with a conviction that can feel almost sacred. Yet she will never sacrifice her freedom or her integrity to maintain a relationship. She loves fully, but she also loves herself enough to honor her own path. That balance between devotion and independence is what makes her love so rare. It teaches, heals, and inspires. And when it leaves with grace, but its impact lasts for many years. Here is something most people never realize about the Sagittarius woman until it is too late. Everything you assumed about her is only the surface. People often see her independence and believe she does not feel deeply. They see her humor and assume she has never faced darkness. They see her freedom and imagine she is terrified of commitment. But these assumptions fall apart the moment you truly look into her eyes. Beneath her fire, there is tenderness. Beneath her laughter, there is courage. Beneath her confidence, there is a lifetime of lessons that shaped her spirit into what it is today. The truth that shocks many is that she feels more profoundly than she expresses. Her emotions have depth, but she does not let them spill in ways that create chaos. She loves fiercely, but she chooses to love with intention. She commits when her spirit recognizes something sacred in another soul. She distances herself not because she is cold, but because she is discerning. She protects her peace because she has learned that not every person is ready to meet her at the level of honesty she carries naturally. Her strength is not a wall, it is wisdom. People are often surprised to learn that a Sagittarius woman is not running from anything. She is running toward something. She is moving toward growth, toward truth, toward experiences that elevate her spirit. She is not afraid of attachment. She is afraid of shrinking. She is not afraid of love. She is afraid of losing her authenticity inside a connection that does not honor who she is. Understanding this changes everything, because once you see her clearly, you realize she is not a mystery to be solved. She is a truth to be respected. A Sagittarius woman leaves differently from anyone else. When her presence fades from your life, she does not create dramatic exits or lingering resentment. She leaves the way the sun sets, with gentleness and acceptance, allowing the light to fade slowly while the world grows quiet. But the space she leaves behind is unmistakable. It is a silence you feel in your bones. It is a longing for the light she carried so effortlessly. It is a sudden awareness of how much she expanded your world simply by being part of it. What creates this void is not just the absence of her presence, but the absence of her energy. She brings a sense of movement to life that makes every day feel brighter, more meaningful, and more alive. When she is gone, the world feels slightly smaller, not because she took anything from you, but because she showed you what life could feel like when you allowed your spirit to stretch beyond its usual boundaries. She teaches freedom, and once you experience that kind of emotional landscape, it is difficult to return to anything less. It is important to understand that she does not leave lightly. She leaves when her soul whispers that her journey must continue. She leaves when the environment no longer aligns with her truth. She leaves when she feels she can no longer grow. Her departure is an act of integrity, not rejection. And though it may feel like a storm swept through your life, the reality is that she leaves you with gifts that endure for many years. She leaves you with clarity, courage, and a newfound understanding of who you are. That is why her absence hurts. It is the echo of a presence that awakened you. If you are a Sagittarius woman listening to these words, allow yourself to truly hear what is being spoken. Your spirit holds a power that many do not fully comprehend. You walk with a light that does not dim, even when life tests your strength. You rise from challenges with a renewed sense of purpose. You speak truths that others are afraid to admit. Your heart is wide, your courage is real, and your faith in life is something rare in this world. You carry the wisdom of a seeker and the joy of a free spirit, and these qualities shape the lives of those who cross your path. You have a gift for seeing the potential in people long before they see it in themselves. You inspire without effort. You encourage without force. You breathe life into the dreams of others simply by believing that growth is always possible. Your freedom is not a rejection of love. Your freedom is a celebration of authenticity. You do not distance yourself to avoid feeling. You distance yourself when something threatens your inner truth. That is not coldness. That is self-respect. You are a combination of gentleness and fire, of wisdom and wonder, of curiosity and conviction. Your presence is a reminder that life is not meant to be confined. It is meant to be explored with heart and courage. There is nothing ordinary about you. There is nothing small in your spirit. You are a mirror for expansion, a catalyst for growth, and a messenger of higher possibilities. Your path is unique because your soul is ancient. You walk with purpose, whether you know it or not. A Sagittarius woman remains unforgettable because she is not merely a person you meet. She is an experience you move through. She is a moment of awakening. She is a reminder of what life feels like when you allow your soul to stretch beyond its old limitations. Her presence carries the energy of a celestial event, something rare and beautiful that you feel blessed to witness. She becomes part of your internal landscape, shaping your understanding of freedom, truth, and emotional courage. She touches the world around her with authenticity. Her words carry sincerity. Her actions reflect integrity. She gives without keeping score, but she guards her spirit with intention. She cherishes the people who honor her truth, and she releases those who try to confine her. She does not seek approval, because she knows that the only approval that matters is the one she gives herself. Her power lies not in how loudly she stands, but in how fully she embodies her own truth. What makes her unforgettable is not a single trait, but the harmony of everything she is. She is fearless, yet compassionate. She is honest, yet warm. She is wild, yet grounded. She is free, yet faithful to what she loves. She is a guide without trying to be, a healer without claiming the title, a spark that turns into flame the moment it touches the right soul. Once you encounter a Sagittarius woman, your life expands, your vision widens, your spirit remembers what possibility feels like, and that is why no one ever forgets her. There comes a moment, usually at the quiet end of a long journey, when you sit with everything you have learned and everything you have felt, and you begin to understand why certain people cross your path with such unmistakable force. A Sagittarius woman is one of these divine intersections. She is not someone you simply meet. She is someone you are guided to. She is someone whose presence awakens a deeper understanding of who you are, who you have been, and who you are becoming. And in this moment of reflection, when the noise fades and the heart speaks honestly, you realize that her influence was never temporary. It was transformational. When you reflect on her presence, you notice how your inner world shifted in the exact places where you once felt stuck. You begin to recognize that she did not change you through pressure or expectation. She changed you through illumination. She walked into your life carrying the spiritual equivalent of a lantern, revealing the places where you had dimmed your own light. She reminded you that courage is not about being fearless. Courage is about moving forward even when the soul trembles. She reminded you that growth is not a destination. It is a living, breathing journey that unfolds decision by decision, step by step, breath by breath. Her impact teaches you to honor your own path with the same authenticity she embodies. It teaches you to let go of what no longer nurtures your spirit and to hold tightly to the truths that elevate your inner landscape. It teaches you that freedom is not the absence of commitment but the presence of alignment. It teaches you that honesty does not have to wound, it can heal. And most of all, it teaches you that the human soul is meant to seek, to learn, to rise, and to shine. She becomes the reminder that life is far more extraordinary when lived with passion, purpose, and spiritual integrity. As you reflect on the story of the Sagittarius woman, you may also find yourself reflecting on your own story. You begin to see the chapters where you played small and the chapters where you stepped fully into your power. You recognize the moments where your faith carried you, the moments where your courage surprised you, and the moments where your intuition whispered a truth you could no longer ignore. Her energy amplifies these realizations because she is the embodiment of expansion. She stretches your awareness. She widens your horizon. She invites you to live in your own truth more boldly and more beautifully than ever before. And perhaps the deepest reflection of all is the understanding that her unforgettable nature is not meant to overshadow your own. It is meant to awaken it. Her fire lights your fire. Her vision opens your vision. Her freedom inspires your freedom. And her authenticity calls forth your own. She becomes a catalyst not because she seeks to be one, but because her soul has always carried the sacred assignment of expanding the world around her through presence, honesty, and spiritual alignment.